So our industry is amazing, and our work in medical sales is so fulfilling. We can achieve a lot of amazing things. We can win awards. We can make a lot of money, and we can serve a lot of patients. But no matter what you want to achieve in this industry, no matter what you want to get from your work in medical sales, you need these three skill sets in order to flourish and achieve what you want in this industry. And the first skill set is medical knowledge and technical skills. And what I mean by medical knowledge and technical skills is you need to understand your product. You need to know everything about your product, how it helps your patients, how it fits in the practice of your customers, and what are the unique selling points that your product have over the competition. But also you need to understand your customers. You need to understand your doctors that you are calling on. What are their preferences? What are the things or the alternative solutions that they are currently using? And what are their unmet needs in this specific disease area that you are serving? And finally, and maybe most importantly, you need to understand your patient. I always say that the rep who understands the patient best will always win. So you need to know the patient profile that you are serving. You need to know all the disease area that you are serving and covering. What are these people going through? What are their challenges in the treatment process, whether it's in medical devices or in accepting or taking treatment through your pharmaceutical product that you are providing? So this is the first essential and fundamental skill set: medical knowledge and technical skill. Understanding your product, understanding your customer, and understanding your patient. Then, the second skill set is selling and communication skills. And this is the skill set that will allow you to utilize your medical knowledge and technical skills to move and influence healthcare practitioners. These skills include things like prospecting, building rapport with your customers, the sales presentation itself, closing, negotiation. And it includes your understanding of the selling process itself. It includes your ability to make an effective value analysis to convince decision makers and the value analysis committee to give you a purchase order or to enlist your product. All the skills that are necessary for you to communicate the value of your product and get the business outcome that you need to get for yourself, whether it's a prescription or a purchase order or a doctor utilizing or trying your product. Then, the third skill set is performance skills. And performance skills are the amplifier, the skills that will give you the ability to amplify and increase your effectiveness, will help you utilize your selling and communication skills and your medical knowledge and technical skills effectively and efficiently. And performance skills include things like goal setting, planning, time management, stress management, strength utilization, how you identify and utilize your strengths in your work, and also your ability to learn and master new skills and build your competencies. And one of the most important performance skills are relationship building. And what you'll notice is all these skills will increase the effectiveness and the efficacy of the first two skill sets. It will increase and amplify the impact that you can achieve through your selling and communication skills and through your medical knowledge and technical skills. I've been running a survey for the past few months, and it's basically a quiz where we evaluate medical sales professionals who go through the quiz on the three aspects or the three skill sets of medical knowledge and selling and communication skills and performance skills. But what we found is 71% of reps who took this quiz scored average or low in performance skills. And this is so important because people who score high on performance skills usually tend to have high competence in selling and communication skills and high competence in technical knowledge and in medical knowledge and technical skills. And this makes sense Because if you can learn and master new skills, if you can effectively manage your time and set meaningful goals for yourself, then you can easily master the selling and the communication skills and improve your skills and build your knowledge, your medical knowledge and the knowledge about your product and your customers and your patients. So in the past few months also and through 2023 and the first semester and this year, I've been talking to reps from different backgrounds. I've been working with reps from the US, the UK and Europe, from India and from the Middle East. But what I consistently find is that mid-reps usually fail to sustain high performance and implement and improve their performance skills because of one or more of these reasons. There are 5 reasons, the most common reasons that are preventing people from sustaining high performance and implementing these performance skills that we are talking about. And the first one is failing to master new skills and competencies consistently. And as I always say and write in my posts on LinkedIn, is being in this industry means that you have an implicit commitment to consistent learning and growth. And if you fail to commit to this aspect of learning and improving your skills consistently, you are guaranteed to fail on the long run, even if you are succeeding now. If you don't grow, if you don't continue your learning and building your skills and competencies, you will ultimately fail behind. So this is the first mistake. The second mistake is having no clear boundaries between work and personal life. And this mistake is so common and it's so significant in our industry because it's naturally that we don't have clear boundaries and clear separation between our work and personal life. We have emergencies, we have cases, and we have meetings that we can make over the weekend. So if you don't have these clear boundaries and if you don't mindfully and intentionally implement these boundaries in your work, you will fail to sustain high performance, and maybe even worse, it will lead you to burnout and consistent stress. The third mistake is not setting meaningful and fulfilling goals. And this is self-explanatory. If you don't have goals, you will not grow. If you don't have something to aim for, you'll not achieve this thing. If you don't know where you are going, you are guaranteed not to reach. Then, not feeling motivated, engaged, and fulfilled in your work. And this mistake is also so common. Some people think of this work or this industry as a money grab or as something that we do that we are forced and we need to do to make money or to sell our products, and they don't find a sense of deep fulfillment and deep motivation and discipline to do the necessary work because of the meaningful things that they experience in their work. And the final mistake is constantly reacting to things without a clear plan, constantly responding to work demands and emergency without having a clear plan that gives you control over your days and weeks. So what I want you to reflect on these 5 mistakes and be honest with yourself. Which one of these mistakes feel relevant? Which one of these mistakes is resonating with you? You believe you are having in your work and your personal life? I would really appreciate it if you can share it in the chat with us so that we know what are the most common things that we need to talk about. Don't be afraid to share, guys. It's a safe place here. And just you sharing and trying to articulate what mistakes or what shortcomings you have is extremely beneficial for you. So we have Andrew here who is absolutely performing in such a high level. He is saying goal setting. We don't master new skills and continue education. Yes, and this is not only our mistake, but we lack support from our companies, and we'll talk about this. So amazing stuff. Let's keep going. So before we start, you might be asking yourself, who is this guy to talk to us with his Arabic foreign accent? I'll give you a quick background about me. I have over half a decade of experience in medical sales. I've promoted medical devices, I've promoted pharmaceuticals, and I've called on many specialties, including plastic surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, and general surgeons. I've called also and worked with gastroenterologists and internal medicine doctor and pediatricians. But at the beginning of my career, things were not going as planned. I was consistently stressed and anxious. I had all these problems and I was doing all these mistakes that I was talking to you about. I didn't feel fulfilled or engaged, and I was extremely in bad mood consistently. But it reached a degree where I was so frustrated and I was so in pain. And I remember this moment vividly. I was in my car and I was smashing the steering wheel out of anger and anxiety. And this frustration got me to a point where I said, I must take action. I must do something to solve these problems for myself. And from this point, I started working with coaches. I started asking my mentors and my managers, and I started reading books, taking courses, and reading research papers. I literally read hundreds of research papers and scientific literature to solve these problems for myself. And fast forward to now, I have managed to solve these problems. I now feel so fulfilled and engaged in my work. I feel that I'm in love with medical sales. My stress levels are under control. I tend to say I have healthy levels of stress, and I'm building the kind of career that I desire, that fulfills me and make me consistently grow and achieve new feats every now and then. And I started giving back. I started working with reps through my company, Flourishing MedRep, coaching them and helping them solve these problems for themselves, helping them improve their performance, build their skills and competencies, and build the remarkable careers that they desire without consistent stress and burnout. With this out of the way, let's face the most important question. Why is it important to implement and improve these performance skills for yourself? There are 5 benefits that you will get if you follow the system that I will be sharing in this presentation to help you implement and improve these performance skills in your work and in your life. And the first benefit is you will be filling in the gap that the company training is leaving behind. Because the fact is, your company will train you on your product. They will give you product and medical training, and they will make sure that you know your product and you know everything about your product so that you can go out and communicate with doctors. And if you are in a good company, if your company is really good, they will train you and give you sales and communication training. And this is also good. You need communication and sales training to be able to utilize your medical knowledge and to influence and move customers towards your desired business outcome. But the problem is your company will never teach you or train you on how to become a top performer. They will never teach you how to set meaningful goals for yourself, personally and professionally. They will never teach you how to learn and master new skills. They will never teach you how to plan your days. They will never teach you how to do the things outside of work that makes you feel fulfilled and engaged in your personal life and in your work. So it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility to work on these skills on ourselves. So the second benefit is consistent and sustainable achievement. And as we said in the beginning of the presentation, medical knowledge and selling and communication skills are the basics, are the fundamentals, are the basic tools that you need to move and influence healthcare practitioners. But top performers are those who can effectively and efficiently utilize these skills to achieve remarkable outcomes and to build remarkable careers. At the end of the day, if you can imagine two reps, and these two reps are equally competent in medical knowledge and technical skills, but one of these reps can effectively set meaningful goals for himself. He can effectively plan his days and weeks, and he can effectively, consistently master and build skills and competencies. The rep who have these performance skills mastered will always win by a big gap, and it will be a huge difference between the one who mastered performance skills and the one who only have medical knowledge and technical skills and selling and communication skills. And it gets me frustrated that a lot of reps that I'm talking to and I'm coaching, they are very well educated, very smart and intelligent reps, but they fail to implement these basic performance skills. They don't know how to set goals for themselves. They don't know how to enjoy and be fulfilled in their work. They don't know how to be motivated. They don't know, they don't have a clear purpose or something to give them a sense of direction. And it's so frustrating because I always ask myself, how much are these reps losing by not improving and performing and implementing these performance skills? Are they losing a new role or a promotion or making a lot of money? Or even worse, are these reps losing on serving more patients? Are they losing on getting their products into the hands of the patients that's waiting for them to show up and to help the doctors with these tools so that they can serve these patients and alleviate their suffering? So if you improve and implement these performance skills in your work, you will be able to consistently and sustainably perform and achieve your goals in this industry. And the third benefit is you will have more motivation, more engagement, and more fulfillment in your work. We have 4 basic and fundamental psychological needs that are prerequisites for us to feel intrinsically motivated and engaged in our work. And these needs are autonomy, competence, purpose, and relatedness. Autonomy means that you have a sense of control, a sense of freedom and choice of what you do with your time. And competence means that you are experiencing mastery and experiencing control over tasks and things that you are performing. You are successfully performing complex tasks on a high level. And purpose is the overarching goal or goals that give you a sense of direction in your work and life. And finally, relatedness is about having a sense of connection, sense of human connection and personal connection and relation to your customers and to your colleagues. So these are the fundamental needs that we cannot do without. We cannot be fulfilled and motivated without these things. So let me ask you this. Without having a proper planning system that allow you to have a sense of control over your time, over your weeks and days, and with you only responding to work demands and emergencies as they arise, can you have a sense of autonomy and control over your time? I think not. And without continuous learning and you consistently and intentionally building and improving your skills and competencies, can you build true competence and true mastery over your tasks and over your work? And without meaningful goals, without setting meaningful and engaging goals for yourself, can you have a sense of direction and a sense of purpose in your work? And finally, without you actively and intentionally building meaningful and positive relationships in your work, can you feel connected? Can you feel that you have a sense of relatedness in your work? I think no. So improving and implementing these performance skills of planning and continuous learning and improving your skills and setting meaningful goals for yourself and building meaningful and positive relationships are the necessary and essential tools that will allow you to have a sense of autonomy, sense of competence, sense of purpose, and a sense of relatedness. which in turn will give you unlimited motivation and engagement and fulfillment in your work. And the fourth benefit that you will get is you will have healthy levels of stress and no burnout. And to talk about this, we need to understand what causes this vicious cycle of stress and burnout. And the first cause is a diminished sense of accomplishment, the sense that you are not achieving the meaningful goals that you are setting for yourself, and having overwhelming job demands, while lacking the personal, psychological, and mental resources to cope and deal with these demands. And finally, having a sense of depersonalization towards your colleagues and customers. And these three reasons, when they start to happen and manifest in your work and in your life, you will have this magical negative feedback loop that keeps feeding on itself, that starts amplifying these negative impacts on your work and in your life. And finally, it might lead you to full burnout. And burnout is so costly. It's so costly because it might cost you a quarter. You might lose a full quarter of performance and service to your patients. It might cost you a year, and it might cost you all of your career. You might lose a lot if you fall into burnout. And even worse, and a lot of us have noticed this in the past few years, it can cost you even more. It can cost you your life. Burnout can lead you to major depression, or it can lead you to ending your life. And we have seen people go through this, and it's so painful. It's so significant to a degree that you cannot neglect. And burnout is so common in our profession, in all sales professions and in medical sales professions especially, because we have all these job demands, and we might sometimes have a sense of lack of accomplishment. And we might, due to the stress of our quotas and sales targets, we might feel that our customers are just numbers, which will in turn make us have this sense of depersonalization. So it's so important to care about this for ourselves and for the people around us also. We might be mindful of these causes. And also we must be proactive. We must have the tools and build the resources that will allow us to prevent this negative cycle from happening. You must have the resources that would allow you to continuously have the sense of accomplishment by setting meaningful goals for yourself and achieving these goals. You must have the resources to control your work and to control your time so that you can do the activities that will fill you with energy and make you again engaged and well rested, so that you can have the personal resources to deal with the high demands that we have in our job. And you must actively build relationships, meaningful and positive personal relationships with your customers and with your colleagues and with your leadership team. And forgive me, guys, for getting emotional in this slide, because it's so relevant for me in the personal level, and I think it's so relevant for you also, because almost nobody of us haven't encountered something like this, either for ourselves or for people around us. So please take it seriously, guys. And the final benefit is, and it ties nicely with the last one, is you will be able to live a meaningful life outside of your work. Because when you have control over your time, when you are able to have a clear separation and clear boundaries between your work and personal time, you will be able to do the activities that you want to do. You will be able to practice your hobbies. You will be able to work on your personal projects, and you will be able to spend time with your families and your loved ones, so that you can build these resources, so that you can enjoy your life and have this sense of meaningfulness and satisfaction outside of your work in your personal life. So these are the 5 benefits that you will get, that I'm promising, if you implement and improve these skills for yourself. And they are filling in the gap that the company training is leaving, so that you can build the remarkable career that you desire, and consistently and sustainably achieving on a high level, so that you can sustain your achievement and performance, and having more motivation, engagement, and fulfillment in your work, and having healthy levels of stress and preventing burnout. And finally, you will be able to live a meaningful life outside of work. And before we start, I want you also to reflect on these benefits. Does any of these benefits feel compelling to you? Does any of these benefits make you feel inspired so that you can take action and you can start implementing and working on these skills so that you can enjoy these benefits in your life and in your work? So amazing. With this out of the way, now we are ready to start going through the three-phase process that will help you to improve and implement these performance skills and achieve meaningful success in your work and in your personal life as a medical sales practitioner. And this process starts with you laying the foundation, then moving into the control phase, and finally building meaningful success. And the first phase is laying the foundation. And as cliche as this might seem, in order to build a tall skyscraper, you need to have a deep foundation. And you'll be able to lay a strong foundation to build and sustain your high performance through these three activities and frameworks. The first one is setting meaningful goals. The second one is adding structure to your life. And the third one, starting and implementing intentional and self-directed consistent skill acquisition. So let's start with goal setting. And as we said, setting goals is a prerequisite for you to grow and achieve what you want to achieve in this industry and in any other pursuit in your personal life or in any other industry. But the one framework that I want you to keep in mind while setting goals is you need to set goals that are self-concordant or self-congruent, goals that are intrinsically motivated, and goals that are approach-oriented. What self-congruent goals means is your goals need to be aligned with your values and your beliefs, not imposed on you by somebody else or by your manager or by social comparison. Basically, not imposed on you by anyone outside of yourself. But your goals should be aligned and should come from your deep values and your deep beliefs. And you can notice this when you have a sales target that you believe is either so low or so unachievable and unattainable. You don't have this sense of buy-in and sense of belief in this goal. This goal is not aligned with what you believe and what you value. And also you can see this in personal life. If you don't value fitness and if you don't value being lean, and if you set a goal for yourself to be lean, you are out of congruence. You are incongruent with yourself. You value being a bit more in the normal range of weight. So setting a goal to get more leaner and while you are not believing into this means that you will have a lack of congruence, that these goals are irrelevant to you. Then secondly, your goals need to be intrinsically motivated, meaning that you don't focus on external rewards or the fear of external punishment, but focus on the things that are intrinsic to you, like your need to grow, your need to build a remarkable career, your need to serve patients. So you want to achieve your quota and hit your sales target, not because you want to get the bonus or the monetary incentive, but because of your deep desire and deep motivation to serve and to grow and to build the kind of success and the kind of career that you want to build. It comes from within, not from outside. So make your goals intrinsically motivated. And finally, approach-oriented. This is so simple. Make your goals based on pursuing and trying to achieve something, not avoiding something. And the classic example in our industry is you never set a goal for yourself, or if you are a manager, you never set a goal for your rep or your team to avoid getting on a performance improvement plan. But instead, you set goals of serving 10,000 patients or of improving the coverage or improving the sales in the area. So this is the framework to goal setting. What I want is, I don't want you to overthink this process. Just set goals that are directionally correct, that gives you a sense of direction and help you measure your advancement and measure your improvement towards achieving this goal. And throughout the process that I will be sharing with you today, you'll be able to build more clarity, and you'll be able to finally, at the end of the process, clarify your purpose and set long-term goals, because by the end of the process, you will have a sense of clarity and you will have improved your life and your workflow in a way that gives you more clarity and will give you a wider view of your life and your work. So this is the first step, setting meaningful goals for yourself. The second step is adding pillars and routines in your life that gives you a sense of structure, coherence, and a sense of control over your life. And let me get a bit philosophical here. When we talk about freedom, and we talked about freedom in the beginning of the presentation, you think that freedom is about you doing whatever you desire, whenever you desire, wherever you desire. But actually, true freedom comes from your deep commitment to things that you deem valuable, important, and virtuous, even if these things are against your desires. So, when you give away control of your time and your life to your impulses, to your desires, to job demands, you are giving away your freedom. But when you choose to do things and actually commit to doing these things, you are gaining away freedom and control over your times, even if these things are unfavorable or undesired in this specific time. So what I need you to do is, based on your goals, based on the goals that you set in the first step, I want you to choose 2 to 4 habits or routines that you can consistently do and perform on a daily basis without failure. And you need to make these habits significant, but yet achievable. So then don't set a goal for yourself to reach out to 20 customers per day. This is not sustainable. You will not be able to perform this habit every day, but you can set a habit for yourself to reach out to a key person, to one key person each day, and start and try to build a meaningful relationship with this key person. So make your habits significant, but yet achievable and tractable. And I want you also to diversify these habits and these pillars. So you might have a habit for your work, like reaching out to a new key person each day, a habit for your body, like exercising or going out for a hike, and a habit for your mind, like reading or taking courses or building your skills and learning new things, and a habit for your heart, like calling someone you know or you love, or setting time to spend with your family, distraction-free, away from your phone and away from job demands. Habit basically for things that are relationship-based or spiritual-based. So the second step is adding these pillars that will allow you to experience structure, coherence, and control over your time so that you are free, not enslaved by your impulses and desires, and not enslaved by work demands and emergencies. Then the final step in the foundation phase is starting your structured and self-directed and intentional skill acquisition process. And this is an ongoing process. And the framework that I have for this process is, you will start by identifying the highest ROI skill. And the highest ROI skill means the skill that will give you the highest return on your invested time and effort. So if you are in a phase of your career where you are giving a lot of presentations and you are having a lot of group meetings with doctors, it would make sense for you to start improving and building your speaking skills, your public speaking skills. And if you are writing a lot of emails, or if you are doing anything writing-based, then improving your writing skills would make sense. If you are reaching out to a lot of new customers, then building rapport would be a skill that gives you a lot of benefit because you are striving and trying to build rapport with a lot of people. So after you identify the skill that will give you the highest return on invested time and effort, you can start this process by excellence appreciation. What does this mean is you will be able to answer, what does good performance in this skill looks like? What do the top performers in this skill do that normal people or mediocre performer don't do? What does it take to actually perform this skill on the high level that I'm aiming for? And after you go through this process of excellence appreciation and understanding what excellent performance in this skill means, you will be ready to move to the next step, which is about gathering knowledge, reading and researching, reading books and taking courses, and trying to understand the basic and the fundamental concepts of this skill, and trying to identify the most effective activities and drills and things that you can do to practice this skill so that you can improve effectively and quickly. And you will be moving from the step of practice and refinement. You will be moving between these two steps for a bit longer, because you will be refining the process. You will be asking yourself, what's working for me? What are the activities that are giving me the most benefits? And what's not working for me? And eliminating these things. And at the end of the process, you will be able to formalize this skill. By this, I mean that you'll be able to build a playbook or a checklist that have the brief steps that will allow you to continuously and consistently perform this skill on a high level, even after you stop learning and improving this skill. You have the playbook of the things that are necessary to keep performing on a high level so that you can move to learning and improving the second or the next best skill for you. And this process is ongoing. Once you finish a skill, you identify the best skill that will give you highest return on investment. Then, with this, you have ended the foundation phase. You have set goals for yourself, and you have pillars and routines and habits that give you a sense of control and coherence in your work and in your life. And you will be building your skills and improving your competencies. Then now you are ready to move to the second phase, the control phase. And the control phase is about you building your capturing system, about you planning and implementing the multi-level planning system, and time boxing and prioritization. The first step is about building your capturing system, and you need to build a capturing system that sets your mind free. Because in this industry, your mind is not for remembering things that are unnecessary. It's not for remembering the event or the appointment that you have, but your mind is for thinking and trying to be creative and coming up with new ways and new ideas to gain and win more business and to serve more customers and to reach more patients. It's not for remembering the task or to send an email for your manager or to waste your cognitive abilities on these meaningless activities. But anything should be captured. And in order to implement this capturing system, you need only two tools. The first tool is a calendar. And in your calendar, anything, any event, appointment, meeting, anything that have a specific time and date to it should go directly to your calendar. Anything that can be scheduled should be scheduled. And the second tool is using a task list. And a task list is used to capture all the tasks and the things that you want to remember to do, but don't have a specific time and date to it. And with this system in place, you will not have to worry about this task that you always tend to forget. You will not have to worry about the event or the appointment that you always remember that you have 30 minutes before you have it, and you are not prepared, and you are maybe away from this location that you are having this meeting in. So with this system in place, you are setting your mind free to think about the important things, and you will be able to effectively start the planning process. And planning is the highest return on investment activity that you can do as a medical sales rep, because it's so mind-blowing how much a return or how much a benefit that you can get from just a 5-minute session for planning your day. So what I follow here is a multi-level planning system. And this system starts with quarterly plan. And the quarterly plan is based on your long-term goals. Based on your goals, what do you need to achieve and get done in this quarter? What is your sales target for this quarter? What are the big projects or the accounts that you want to initiate business in this quarter? So it's basically a high-level strategic or semi-strategic plan with the goals and things that you need to get done in the quarter. Then the second layer is weekly plan. And weekly plan is based on your quarterly plan and your schedule and task list. And then the weekly plan, which is a bit more tactical, you will have the goals for the week, the important tasks and events and meetings that you need to get done in the week, the accounts that you need to call on, and the advancements and the things that you need to get done in these accounts. And you need also to plan your territory, plan your geographical. You understand that in Monday, I will be visiting this geographical area and I have these accounts so that you don't waste a lot of time moving from an area to another, so that you have all the accounts laid in specific times and they are close to each other so that you can increase your effectiveness and minimize the driving time, driving from a place to another and visiting accounts that are hundreds of miles away in the same day. And finally, the most tactical plan is your daily plan. And your daily plan is where the rubber meets the rope, where you will compare the unlimited tasks and unlimited events that you have to the limited time that you have in your day. So for example, if you have 100 tasks that you want to get done in this week and you want to compare these tasks to the 10, 9, or 8 hours available for you the next day, this will force you to prioritize and to be strategic with which tasks you need to get done first. What are the most important tasks and the things that are important for you to move your business and to move your area forward, so that it will force you to correctly choose the things that are important and significant for your business and for your personal life as well. And the last step in this control phase is to even build more control and to be more effective with your time. And you can achieve this by blocking a specific time blocks that are distraction-free for the most important activities that tend to be forgotten, if not scheduled. And these are things like learning, whether it's learning a new skill or keeping up to date with your medical knowledge or anything else related to learning. If you don't schedule these things, if you don't set specific time for doing these things, they tend to be forgotten and delayed, and you tend to procrastinate on doing these things. And also you need to schedule specific time for the personal things that are important to you, things like your hobbies or your personal projects or time with your family. You need to carve out a distraction-free time for these things to happen consistently and maybe on a daily basis. You need to spend personal time with your family on a daily basis. So this will allow you to be intentional and effective. It will allow you to do the most important things and to not procrastinate or avoid the things that tend to be forgotten because they are not so urgent. It's not so urgent for you to read this research paper or to go through these medical materials that your company is providing. Maybe you'll do it next week. But when you block specific time for these tasks, you are more likely to get them done. And in the professional sense, consistent skill acquisition and consistent building and improving your medical knowledge will allow you to advance your career, will allow you to serve more patients, will allow you to be more effective in your work. And setting these personal time blocks for these important personal stuff like your personal projects, your family time, your hobbies will give you the psychological resources and will allow you to experience meaning, fulfillment, and happiness in your personal life so that you can avoid all these negative impacts that we said, the lack of separation and lack of boundaries between work and personal life is having on our psychological health and our mental well-being. So with this out of place, with our capturing system and our multi-level planning and having these important and fundamental blocks, we have a sense of control, and we are finished with the control phase so that we can move to the last phase, which is about meaningful success. And you can start having meaningful success and even amplify your engagement and motivation in your work by identifying and utilizing your signature strength, and by adopting a service mindset, and by clarifying and identifying your purpose and long-term goals. So you need to identify your signature strength and use it in different ways at your work every day. And each one of us has this superpower. We have something that we can do easily, and we can perform on a high level better than anyone else, yet doing this thing fills us with energy. It gives us more energy, not drain energy out of you. So for example, you might love networking or building relationships, and it gives you a lot of energy, and you can do this easily. You might love learning or teaching. You might love working with a team. Whatever your personal strength is, whatever this thing that's filling you with energy and you can easily do without any, suffering or any hardship, but instead it's so joyful and it makes you so engaged and so happy to do, you need to identify this thing and use it in your work. So if there's something like teamwork, if you love working in a team, you start thinking about having a project for you and the team to work on. You must be creative to identify the activities that will allow you to utilize these strengths in your work. And a good way to help you identify your personal strengths is you can go to the VIA character strength quiz. It's a very well-researched and well-documented quiz that will give you your top 5 strengths or personal values that you can use in your work in order to feel all these positive outcomes of more engagement and more effectiveness in your work, and also more satisfaction with your work. Then the second step in building meaningful success is you need to understand the value that you are creating for your customers and your patients. As we said in the beginning of the presentation, our profession is so amazing. You can achieve a lot of things. You can win awards. You can make a lot of money, and you can serve patients. But it's not about winning awards, and it's not about making money. It's all about the impact that you have on these patients. You need to understand this. Your job is to give the necessary tools for doctors so that they can serve these patients, they can alleviate their suffering, and they can improve their life, so that these patients can enjoy their lives and their loved ones can enjoy their companies. It's not about the money or the rewards. It's about your awareness that there's a patient somewhere that's waiting for you to show up and to work powerfully and to reach out to doctors and to work towards getting your product into their hands so that they can experience all these benefits that your product is providing. And at the end of the day, when you think about someone who have this mindset, he will be fired up. He will be almost forced and have this sense of responsibility to show up powerfully and to go out and to reach the patients that needs the medication. So it's not about the money, it's not about the rewards, it's about the people who are waiting for you to show up and to serve. So always remind yourself and be mindful of this impact that you are having through this amazing profession. And finally, the last step of the process is clarifying your purpose. And throughout the process, you have building this clarity and you are widening your view, because now you are having a structure in place, and you are having a strong foundation of goals and routines and habits that you are following. And you are having a sense of control and effectiveness, and your productivity is way better because you are implementing all these systems that will allow you to be more effective and more productive in your work. And you are feeling more accomplished and fulfilled and engaged in your work. You are understanding the impact and the value of your work. And finally, you are now consistently building and improving your skills and competencies. With all these foundations in place, you now have the clarity and you now have the ability to ask the big questions. What are you doing here? What are you doing with your life? What do you want to achieve over the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life? And this ability, my friend, this ability to have a sense of direction and a sense of purpose in your life is life-changing. You will almost become a new person, someone who have very deep and strong passion about what they are doing because they have clarity, why they are doing these things, what they are pursuing in their life, and what are the changes that they are trying to bring into the world. This is so significant and so profound. It will give you a new sense of identity, and it will literally change your life. So to get it all together, we need to have this clear step-by-step system to follow so that we can sustain high performance and keep implementing these frameworks and tools. You need to always be following the system, so you don't worry about what you should be doing next. Instead, just follow the system. And this is why I have assembled for your pleasure this visual representation of the system so that it can be easier for you to follow. You can screenshot this, but it's basically a visual representation of what we have been going through in this presentation. It starts with adding structure to your life, setting goals and building daily and weekly routines and habits, and starting your directed skill acquisition journey. And then building a workflow by implementing your capturing system, by doing the multi-level planning system, and by time boxing and prioritization. And then you can move to maximizing fulfillment by identifying and utilizing your strength, and by building relationships and understanding the impact that you have in your work, and finally by finding your purpose. Then here comes the last step of refinement. You need to make the system your own. You need to find out what's working for you and what's not working. You need to identify the things that you already have in your place, because you are not starting from the ground zero. Some people might have goals for themselves, but they don't have routines. You might have the healthy routines and habits, but you don't set clear goals for yourself. So make the system your own and refine it so that you can start all the process again and make it even more beneficial and more helpful and effective for you. So you start again by setting goals, by reviewing your habits, by continuously and consistently commit to the skill acquisition process, and then improve your workflow, improve your capturing system, and improve your planning process. Then move to the maximizing fulfillment phase, where you can utilize new strengths that you have. You can build even more positive and meaningful and deeper relationships with people around you, and start clarifying and refining your purpose and long-term goals. Then you can start again. So this is basically the process. What you need to do is you need to take action. You need to start implementing these tools and these frameworks in your life. And if you commit to doing this, if you stick with the process, you will have massive gains in all these aspects of productivity, of control, of improving your stress and avoiding burnout, and improving your performance, and the engagement and fulfillment that you get from your work and from your personal life. And finally, if you need personalized help, you can book a call with me. We will go through your personal situation and what do you have going on in your professional and personal life, and will help you shorten the learning curve and will help you implement this system more effectively. And this is not a sales session. I will not be selling you on joining me in my coaching program, but this will be a coaching session that I will be providing the maximum value that I can. I will be serving you powerfully and helping you identify and clarify your goals and implement the system for yourself. And even better, if I find out that I can even help you more and we are a good fit to work together, I will offer you a full month of one-on-one personalized coaching with me for free, a full month of one-on-one coaching completely for free. So this is not a sales call, this is a free coaching call that I'm trying to give away for you. And I think now we are at the end of the session. Yes, we are on time. So you can scan this QR code and go on to book time for yourself. And now we are ready to have some questions.